rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
The Throttle Freaks GT3 Championship rolls into its final stretch tonight as race 8 of 10 fires to life at the legendary Virginia International Raceway. After weeks of wheel-to-wheel combat, the title fight is tightening, tempers are sharpening, and every point now carries the weight of a season. 45 minutes of pure GT3 insanity await on one of America's most unforgiving circuits. With only 3 rounds left, the contenders must rise, the hopefuls must gamble, and the championship story is ready for its next chapter. This is V.I.R, this is Race 8, and this is Throttle Freaks GT3. Ladies and gentlemen, that's one on the counter. Boys and girls, hello and welcome to Racers Nexus. This is indeed Daniel Zippy Salmon here, joined in the commentary booth by the one and only Mr. Richard Swindales, and still awaiting a name we are for him, as we have Rob the Goatee Campbell at the production controls. I'm sure you guys can see that at the bottom as well. That was definitely, it's going to be one of those days. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday indeed. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Guest as we got Wayne, Pipe and Camel Toe there. Thank you. That's got to be the most colourful start we've ever had. Thank you, Dave Jensen there in the 692. But certainly, Richard, it's a pleasure to be here on what I'm going to very much call a princess-approved track, V.I.R in GT3. What a fantastic car and track combo.
It certainly is, Zippy, and I was going to ask you, that was my first question. I was going to ask if it was princess approved, but I kind of figured it was. Love V.I.R. It's going to be a lot of fun battling out tonight. Got lots of elevation changes, technical sections, high-speed sections. These GT3 drivers can be battling hard tonight, Zip.
Well, already I can hear Richard has a hint of the giggles in his voice, ladies and gentlemen. Now, either that means one of two things. Either I'm humorous and entertaining, possible, or he's feeling particularly chemically charged. Let's go with that, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, there may have been a little bit of relaxation before we went live, and certainly power to him. Indeed, but right now we're currently in the qualifying session, but before we get too excited, let's take a quick look here at the championship points. Well, as you can see here in the...
Right now here, Zip, Jack Hedgecoats continuing to hold a nice lead over Steve McDonald. Third place, Tyler Graff. Then we have Brett Thurman in fourth, Oleg Lovkov rounding out the top 5.
Having a look here at the Pro-Am Championship, you got the very only Jerome Berfume. He's currently leading 246 points, 33 points there of Seb Gauthier with Josh Scowen, tied with Kevin Berquist in third and fourth, 187 points, but just 6 points behind. Herbert Pineda takes P5. Rich, I believe you got the AM class as well.
Yeah, Jacob Figner. Close battle with James Hand. James Hand been leading all season, but now Jacob Figner's up on top by 1 point. Third place, we have Carson Quince with Drew DeWeese and Ian Cabana rounding out the top 5.
Well, definitely some very interesting energy levels here in the booth. I am pretty much jonesing, ladies and gentlemen. It's caffeine or adrenaline. You take your pick. But indeed, you're going to be here on Races Nexus to enjoy it. As we have a look here after team points, it's Soul Precision Racing Black currently leading the charge with 636 points. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not quite 100 clear, but it's a pretty tidy margin over Going Racing with 551. And then things get even closer. Looking there in third, Mad Works. That's the pop-out Porsches, ladies and gentlemen. They're there with 538 points, just 15 points clear of Riot Motorsports, with SRTE Black about 18 points behind, rounding out your top 5.
That is, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I don't know how long we're going to be able to hold this together, but I think we've been calling races too long. Yeah, I lost it before I even got to tonight. But here we are, V.I.R. We're in Alton, Virginia. This track's been around since 1957. Briefly closed for just a brief stretch of 26 years or so. Very famous for Oak Tree, which doesn't have an oak tree at it anymore due to damage sustained, but just a classic American racetrack set.
Well, certainly for a second there, I thought this track was founded when indeed you joined the world, but I wasn't quite right on the numbers there. But we will take the easy roast and say that you're a little bit beyond old, you're ancient. But certainly, we're here in qualifying session right now. Excuse me, we've got about 2 minutes left to go. And what I am seeing, though, is a little bit of a curveball here. Stephen McDonald, who's usually right there at the front of the grid, he's currently down there in P25. As I say that, sticks it to me, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, goes and moves it up to P2, but certainly Oleg Lovkov, his teammate, able to get the jump on him this week by about 0.4 of a second. Jack Hedgecoats up there in the Ferrari, no surprises there. Indeed, Ryan O'Connor making an appearance as well. Felix Feliz there, he goes a little bit faster. Not only that, he does it in the Pro-Am category. He's there in P6, but right now, Jacob Fichtner, an AM-class driver, is currently there in P5. Absolutely astonishing with Dave Jensen there, rounding out your top 10. Quite the mix here. Some of the pro drivers not quite managed to find the pace yet today.
Yeah, a little surprising to see where some of the people fall, but not a huge surprise, though. Jacob Fichtner been on a mad tear this second half of the season here, Zep, and really showing some strong pace in the amateur category, battling up there with the top pros.
Indeed, certainly we've got a bit of side-by-side action going, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't mean it's cars on track. I mean we got a picture-in-picture. As I see Jacob Fichtner actually from Ottawa, ladies and gentlemen. Alan boy, he must know exactly what I mean to have a broad race breakfast. So certainly anybody in the Ottawa area, I'm going to encourage you to do this at Rob's expense, but if you do happen to go to Broadways, please get the breakfast, get the hash browns especially, take a picture and put it in the Racer Nexus Discord and tag me in it, ladies and gentlemen, and tag Rob too, just to stick it to him as well. But certainly, I have very much missed that breakfast. I've gone about 4 years without one, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, I'm starting to get a little bit of withdrawal. Certainly, I need to make my way back to Ottawa, and indeed need to get Broadways to sponsor me for the amount of times I've mentioned that on the broadcast. You've got to have the breakfast, you've got to have the hash browns, and indeed, you've got to have it with a bit of HP sauce. And also, as well, can we get a bit of a pool going? How many times here are we going to have, ladies and gentlemen, in this broadcast? But right now, you're seeing the driver cam here of Mark Kalin. Ladies and gentlemen, that's number 7, ladies and gentlemen. Attaboy. We do want to see more of you, ladies and gentlemen. We come in all shapes and sizes. It's not just broadcasters, but indeed everybody on the planet as well. And we want to see you having fun. We want to see you racing. So by all means, put that camera on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure you can do it from a cell phone as well. By all means, Richard can correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, it just adds to the experience. You're like a real-life racing driver. And indeed, especially for an interview, it just adds a whole other dynamic as well. We want to see you sweating just as much as we are in the booth.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost anything, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get a little bit more exposure time on the YouTube broadcast. So, well, definitely in more ways than one. So we take a look at Tyler Graff in one of Zippy's favorite paint schemes. Yeah, Tyler Graff.
Oh, yes.
Currently sitting in 21st and doing a good job this season in the pro category.
Well, he is doing a good job, but certainly today he is a little bit off pace. The 771, that pop-out Porsche, indeed, it looks good. It almost looks like a, if I was going to describe that car as a drink, it would definitely be a Jaeger bomb, ladies and gentlemen. There's definitely a bit of a kick to it, and it's definitely going to give you a little bit hammered if you look at it after a few too many, but certainly it's got vibrance, it's got personality. But the question is, does it have pace here as he's looking to try and bring this lap to a close? Qualifying right down, running down to the ticker here. Are we going to see an improvement from the 771? He's currently in 21st, and he needs to find a little bit more pace. No cars ahead for the draft. It really is going to be himself versus the venue. Are we going to see an improvement? Currently in P21 for the 771. Can he make an improvement now as he goes and brings it down the start-finish line? Is it going to be an improvement? No. Come on, Tyler.
Yeah, and that's two spots you really need the draft. We're taking a look at Felix Feliz finishing up. Felix Feliz sitting in 10th overall right now. Just another couple corners to go. Felix Feliz, let's see if he's able to make an improvement. Nah, it doesn't look like he's going to make an improvement there, Zip.
Well, certainly we have another one of my favorite cars in the grid, and certainly, Richard, if I ask you as to why, what's going to be your answer?
I have no idea. Oh, this one.
Oh,
well, if you ask me this one,
the Ferrari.
I understand why, but
that one, we know why.
I don't know, to be honest with you. Probably because it's fast and it's one color. I don't know. Oh, gold rims. It's got gold wheels, Zip.
Yes, there you go. Attaboy. It was like leading a horse to a water. Well, leading a horse to water, and indeed, well, Richard, I guess Richard does wish he had certain attributes of a horse. Certainly, that's not what I've heard. But indeed, the 88 there, having that beautiful bronze wheels, is qualifying. The hard cut has been reached. Hedgecoach not able to make an improvement up and past P3, but certainly a good result nonetheless. I do have to wonder, though, thinking of the guy, cold tires, buddy, cold tires. You're definitely going to want to let it get a little bit of heat into there. Certainly, that is the most unusual tree I've ever seen, going full Roblox for that occasion, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, any kids watching will understand that one. But let's take a look here at the grid as the drivers begin to join it indeed. Starting row number one, ladies and gentlemen, Oleg Lovkov takes the lead with Steve McDonald, his teammate, alongside in second. Moving back, Jack Hedgecoach takes third with Jarrett Keane in fourth. Moving on to fifth, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Australian driver of William Fenton alongside Ryan O'Connor. In seventh, we got Jason Kinger alongside Jacob Fichtner for eighth. And rounding out your top 10, another Canadian driver, it's Andrew Trickett at ninth with Felix Feliz in 10th.
At row 6 in 11th place, we've got Jason Park, Colin McKenzie running in 12th. Seb Gauthier in 13th, Dave Jensen beside him in 14th. Row 8, David Bush III in the Lambo, Dale Peterson in 16th. Row 9, we have P17, Brett Thurman, and James Hand, P18. Kevin Berquist is 19th, and Andrew Venaro rounds out your top 20.
And having a look here at P21, it's going to be the 771 of Tyler Graff and that pop-up Porsche alongside the Lamborghini of Frank Pisano. In 23rd, Herbert Pineda alongside Stephen McLean for 24th. Back in 25th, Ian Cabana alongside the Mustang of Jeff Evans in 26th. Moving back now to row 14 in P27, we've got Jay Steffi alongside the Aston Martin of Evan Jones. We've got a few more cars here as well, but that's fine. Keep going, buddy. Keep going. We've got time.
Tonight here. We have 40-car field, but a very short.
Are you saying that I can't run my mouth fast enough to do this grid?
You can. Well, even you, Zip. It might be a challenge for even you. We'll take a look from behind the pace car. We got Oleg Lovkov leading the charge, warming up the tires. Teammate Steve McDonald in beside him. Jack Hedgecoach trailing up, gonna have a little bit of a tough time with the two teammates up front, Zip.
Well, one thing I just had a random thought of, wouldn't it be fun if we could change the livery on the pace car? I'm sure it's doable. Never seen it done before, but we're going to have to figure that out. Indeed, I'm going to have to do a little bit of finagling there. But right now, Oleg Lovkov, he's got an opportunity. He's going to be there on the inside. Is his teammate Steve McDonald going to be able to help him here? As ladies and gentlemen, green, and away we go. We have a 40-car field, ladies and gentlemen. You can already see there straight away. Lovkov gets the jump, puts Stephen McDonald right behind him, and already pulled away 0.2 per second as quickly they go into single file. As that looks like one of the orange Lambos there trying to make a move, heading around turn one. Jack Hedgecote, though, applying a good amount of pressure there to Steve McDonald. As meanwhile, Jared Keane in the SRTE black car. As oh my gosh, that goes William Fenton, the Australian driver, has indeed gone down under.
Yeah, William Fenton not having the start. Look, he had great pace last week. He's had great pace all season long, but Fenton not having the start he wants. We got a bunch of little stuff going on here, but Jack Hedgecote's continuing to follow behind the teammates of Oleg Lovkov, Steve McDonald. Oleg Lovkov getting up to a great jump. McDonald, Hedgecote's battling back behind. It looks like everybody's pretty well sorted out behind here, Zip.
Well, definitely, if you're going to go side by side, this would not be my favorite place to do it. And indeed, we're going to watch here from Felix Feliz here, as those two cars ahead get themselves sorted out. That's Jason Kinger and indeed Andrew Trickett. Trickett's going to be in the inside in the 514 as they go around what used to be Oak Tree, ladies and gentlemen. Now, exit speed is absolutely crucial here. Get a bad exit and it's going to follow you the entire way down the straight. And already there, you can see where they went side by side there. That it was Jacob Fickner and, Jason Kinger and indeed Andrew Trickett. They dropped back to the field by about 1.5 seconds. Oh my giddy on. We've got carnage there at Oak Tree. The Ace Motorsports Lamborghinis certainly having a little bit of a bad hand dealt, and indeed that's blackjack, ladies and gentlemen. They're bust.
Yeah, unfortunately, Frank Pisano, Mark Kalin may be getting involved, and we're going to take a look back a little bit, feeling this cloudy weather here. The Ryan O'Connor, we're going to go back to a replay here. Mark Kalin coming up on the outside. They're coming up to Oak Tree here, folks. A little bit of cloudy weather. Well, look at that. That's just a big mess he had to face. Mark Kalin, sorry, he's getting through cleanly.
Yeah, definitely fair play to Mark Kalin there, as indeed the liveries do return. A couple of people picking up damage here, as indeed this is a little bit foggy, ladies and gentlemen. You see there, that's one of the Solpec cars. Indeed, it's Carson Quinton in the 555, puts the brakes on, just about able to get round. That's the leopard print McLaren there, or at least the front of it is. And indeed, we go free wide, a little bit of carnage there, and whoa! What a beautiful Audi we got lurking in the background. Let's get a little bit of footage of that thing. That's Barry Cochran, ladies and gentlemen, the only Audi in the field. But I've got to say, that is a sick-looking paint, sir.
Yeah, Barry Cochran representing the Audi, the one and only. Doing that all season long, if going by memory. Doesn't get the screen time that beautiful livery deserves, but coming out through the S's. This nice train of cars here. Barry Cochran. Oh, somebody crashing back there. That looks like that might be Frank Pisano again.
Yeah, definitely that is not the start he's looking for. Frank Pisano definitely getting dealt a bad hand on this race start, but right now Oleg Lovkov has managed to open up that gap a little bit further. He's cleared by 0.8 of a second. Jack Hedgecote still applying pressure there to the back of the 65 of Stephen McDonald. He's about 5/10, 6/10 of a second, 6/10 of a second clear as Jared Keane there for the Pro-Am class. He's currently there in P4, but he's got a little bit of traffic behind him. Ryan O'Connor and Jacob Fickner, both very much in tow, trying to apply a little bit of pressure there to that Lamborghini.
Yeah, Jacob Fickner up to 6th place, up 2 positions. So great job by the amateur, who's not going to be an amateur next season, Zip.
Well, certainly a promotion is always a good thing, ladies and gentlemen, until you find that all of a sudden you compete against people of an even higher class. But certainly it's a compliment, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, I don't tend to get promotions. I tend to get fired. So certainly that's generally how my life goes. But indeed, right now, you see Ryan O'Connor establishing a bit of a pro lockout, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, as we've got the top 4 all being secured by the pros.
Yeah, and that's to be expected, but sometimes unexpected, because look at this. We're taking a look here at number 33, Jacob Fickner. Jacob Fickner, 6th place, following along behind Jared Keane. So we've got pros 1 to 4. Then we've got a Pro-Am of Jared Keane, amateur of Jacob Fickner. A little bit of battling going on here, as it looks like Ryan O'Connor may having to slurp a slowdown. These guys moving up a little bit further. Fickner up to 5th, Keane up to 4th, back where he started.
Yeah, certainly, and I'm just having a look here through at the standings, and I do see a couple of people made some big moves, but this is one of them, the 888 car, the teammate there of Jack Hedgecoe, because it's Josh Gowen. He's currently managed to find his way up 8 positions from the start. He's currently in P22, started in P30, and he's rocking the bronze wheels, ladies and gentlemen, indeed the blue Ferrari. But right now, he's got Jay Steppy right behind. Steppy, I'd say, a little bit out of place here for Riot Motorsports. Indeed, I'd expect him to make a move a bit further up, but the question is, can he work together with the 888 Ferrari to try and push themselves forward towards the back of that pack, currently being tailed by Andrew Bonaro in the number 38.
Yeah, Josh Gowen last week having a good charge from back in the mid to back pack up to the front, towards the front, so trying to duplicate that again, have another good effort. Taking a look here at Evan Jones. Evan Jones sitting in 24th place. Nice Aston Martin there. We don't get to see too many of them, Zip.
Yeah, definitely a little bit disappointed here that we don't have more Aston Martins, but fair play, that team bringing out just not just an Aston Martin but a McLaren as well. I definitely appreciate the British manufacturers being represented indeed by the only 2 drivers in the field, ladies and gentlemen. Fair play to them, but it looks like we've got a bit of movement here. James Han is just catapulted down through the order, and he continues to do so. There's definitely been an incident here for the driver, indeed, as he's currently, well, he may be hypnotized, ladies and gentlemen. The hypnotized car, the 744, take a little bit of a detour there. Certainly, the black and purple Porsches, indeed the black and purple Ace Motorsports liveried vehicles have not been having much luck so far this race. Oh, friendly fire!
Herbert Pineda taking out teammate James Hand. Herbert sending it from deep, but a little too deep here, Zip.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, between teammates you get like a little bit of friendly rivalry, but I don't think that was like, like a knuckles or anything. That was a bit more of a bitch slap, and fair play to him. James Hand got absolutely yeeted off of the track.
Well, I mean, it's rather unfortunate. Somehow the rest of the racers out there managed to avoid it. Only the 2 teammates really involved. Gonna go back up a little bit further here. David Bush III, longtime member of Throttle Freaks, currently sitting in 16th place, folks. Down 1 position on the day, but continuing to battle on in that Lamborghini.
Well, certainly, we got David Bush the third. I believe the second and indeed the first. So I do have to wonder if they had quite the vibrance indeed of the 32 here. Currently, the Lunatic Racing Air in P16. But one of the favorite paints here, at least for this broadcaster's point of view, the 771, the Pop Art Porsche. Speaking of which, he's actually hung out a little bit to dry this week. We only got one of these here on the track. At least I've only seen one of them. Certainly looking good. The Hot Milk there being a band out in the UK, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, it's nothing dirty. That would be race the Nexus, I guess, on occasion, but certainly you see here, there we go, his teammate is indeed here. It's Matt Taylor there, who's currently doing he's back there in P27 actually, and actually a little bit out of place here as well, but he's currently got the McLaren he's working on. Neil Alexander taking a little bit of a tumble. Yeah, fortunately it looks like he kept it off the wall, and I think the car you're looking for is Aaron Morgan, who has missed the last couple of weeks. So Matt Taylor, the other teammate of the MadWorks teams, but Aaron Morgan kind of missing in action last couple weeks. We look at a big dive here. Ryan O'Connor sending it up the inside. Nice move by Ryan O'Connor, the 95 car, to take another position. Yeah, as I see that, also that's one of the SLTE black cars taking a little bit of a detour in the background as well. One of the Porsches having a slight detour as Tyler Graf has just managed to make a position up as well, past Seb Gauthier. You see there, that's the car that had a little bit of a scenic route. He's currently down 2 positions from where he started, indeed 3 positions from where he started, but they're very much still in the pack and still got a chance to try and make some recovery. Meanwhile, Ryan O'Connor, though, he's managed to get past Jacob Fichtner, but is he going to be able to pull away? He has a pack of cars behind him. Fichtner, Kinger, and Trickett all vying to try and get into the top 5. Yeah, all vying hard. We take a look at Jason Kinger sitting in 7th place. Jason Kinger making a little bit of advance here, trying to get by Ryan O'Connor up ahead. Oh no, I'm all lost here, Zippy. That's Jacob Fichtner. And here we go, 3 wide. Maybe, no, we're going to tuck it in behind. Looks like no moves being made, just a lot of pressure. Maybe trying to get the guys a little nervous up ahead of them. Well, certainly with pressure you get diamonds, and certainly we got no use for those here on Racer Nexus. We're more interested in some nice fresh rubber in the form of some sticky tires, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly I had to say that before my comrade started absolutely crying with tears of laughter. But right now the 412 is Jason Kinger for the Solprec Precision Racing Team. He's from Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and right now he's going to be doing Philadelphia proud. He's currently in P7, but can he find his way past Jacob Fichtner? Fichtner, honestly, he's got a good advantage here. He's 6 positions clear of Dave Jensen. That is his next clearest competition. It could be a good point haul. Don't get me wrong, he's going to fight for everything he's got, but he's got to make sure that he keeps the main goal in mind. Finish ahead of people in class. And certainly with Kinger behind him, he's going to have to be working hard and keeping an eye on those mirrors. Bonk.
Now, the last few weeks, though, Fichtner doesn't seem to care so much about that class. I mean, he wants that win for class, but he's been battling right up there with the podium finishers. So Jacob Fichtner on a tear right now. Jason Kinger looking all over him, trying to make a move. A little bit of a bump drafting as you go down this long straightaway.
Yeah, there was definitely no move there, Richard. That was all a little bit of the booty slap there. He wanted to try and give that AMG a little bit of a rush down the back straight there, and indeed didn't go for the move. But the Porsche behind him, Jason Park, I have a feeling he's got a little bit of a different approach to 55 here in the Pro-Am class. Looking to try and make some moves. He's currently at the back of this pack, but all ahead of him is opportunity.
Certainly opportunity up ahead. I mean, as long as there's cars ahead of you, Zippy, there's opportunity, that's for sure.
Well, certainly if you're driving, Richard, there's definitely a opportunity to make a pass. But indeed, you can see there, Felix Feliz there is going to be the next on the chopping block on that Ford Mustang. Actually, the only Mustang I can see in the top 20. The next nearest one being driven by Mark Kalin down in P29. So certainly you have to wonder, I mean, it's a fixed series as well. Is it maybe just a little bit more in tune with Felix today, or is indeed the Mustang potentially a bit of a disadvantage here? The Mercedes and the Lamborghini seem to be the choice of the field.
Yeah, and we took a look and we saw Brett Thurman there. Brett Thurman, longtime Mercedes driver. Number 69 car, Bad Santa car, longtime member, racer of Throttle Freaks. Currently 17th, started 17th, and nothing really happening for Brett tonight. Seb Gauthier not having the best of races up ahead of him either. He's down 3 positions on the day. David Bush III stuck in 15th. So these 3 drivers kind of hanging tight where they started, Zip.
Well, speaking of hanging tight, the top 4 have not moved from where they've started, but looking a little bit further back through the field, though, Jay Steffi currently up 8 positions, Josh going up 9, but we got new hard chargers, ladies and gentlemen. Andy Mills, he's currently there in P27, he's up 10. Christopher Ryan's right behind him for the SRTE white team in the 111. He's currently up 10 positions as well. Definitely got some movement in the field. James Hand, sadly retiring at this point. He's down and out, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, as is Frank Fasano and Carsten Quinn. Neither of these cars, we would say that James Hand currently still showing as in the pit, so we may see him return, but the odds are probably not very faithful at this point for such a short race.
Yeah, James Hand, unfortunate, very unfortunate. We saw that earlier, but we're going to take a look up front here. Teammates have a kind of gap in the field a little bit now at this stage. It's just Oleg Lovkov holding off Steve McDonald. I know they're teammates, but they're going to race hard, I think, Zip. They're going to race hard and clean because, hey, why not? They're basically a 2-car class of this field right now. Jack Hedgecote's falling a little bit behind. He's, about 3 seconds back of the leaders.
Yeah, certainly he's going to hope that these 2 AMGs come together, and certainly I would be very surprised if they did. Oleg Lovkov and Stephen McDonald, they will race each other, but certainly I do think they're going to play it smart. They're going to try and work together and indeed pull away. They will require a pit stop in this race, but certainly I do have to wonder if McDonald can, we've seen him do it before where he's led and still somehow miraculously been able to save fuel, but certainly if he works together with the 690 car, I think there could be a good opportunity for both of these drivers to maintain a first and second respectively for Solprec Precision Racing Black.
Yeah, Ryan O'Connor, we're going to come here, just finishing off Oak Tree, going down the long back straightaway. Ryan O'Connor currently in 5th place, started 6th. Ryan O'Connor looking at the back of Jared Keane, the 2 Lambos going nose to tail. No move's going to be happening here. On the inset, though, we've got Brett Thurman starting to make that charge down the back straight.
Indeed, multiple battles happening here through the field, ladies and gentlemen, as we're keeping an eye on the picture-in-picture. Ryan O'Connor is on the left, indeed. Seb Gauthier is on the right. He's currently down 3 positions, is Gauthier, but he's in the middle of a pack as well. Ryan O'Connor, though, he's currently up 1 position as well. As right now, you can see there, Jared Keane is going to be next on the chopping block. It's going to be Lambo versus Lambo, but I've got to say, the Lamborghini certainly used to be a little bit of a stripper, certainly when it came to trying to get this thing round. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It made a good shout and it looked great, but certainly we never knew when it was going to bite, as that is another car off there at turn 1, and I believe it's got an Ace Motorsport livery on it as well.
Yeah, Ace Motorsports not having the best of times tonight. Take a look here. We're looking at Evan Jones going, whoa, wow, is that Evan Jones having himself a good close battle with William Fenton. William Fenton trying to make a recovery run here, folks. And it's tough to get around in some places at V.I.R. You can kind of get stuck. William Fenton having that earlier issue, down 18 positions, charging hard on Evan Jones.
Well, you can see right behind him as well, Ian Cabana is there and waiting, as is David Morse. He's currently up 6 positions as well in that number 21 Ferrari. Indeed, the Ferrari actually a surprisingly popular choice here. Certainly myself, never been able to get on with this generation of Ferrari. I personally preferred the original Ferrari GT3, ladies and gentlemen, which is certainly a long, long while ago. And even better, the GTE cars, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love those cars. But right now, Matt Taylor, he's currently there in P26 for that Pop-Art Porsche. Not his best day today, but meanwhile, here in P number 12, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dale Peterson and Dave Jensen duking it out in the AMGs for P12.
Yeah, nice close battle here between Jensen and Dave Jensen in the 692 car, having himself a good close battle. Currently 13th place overall. Dale Peterson just up ahead in the Mercedes. 2 Mercedes, no to tail.
It certainly is going to be a fantastic battle between the two of them as well, but you have to wonder as well just how hard is Jensen going to fight. He's got Jacob Fichtner up there in P6, and indeed on a gap, I'd say he's probably about 6 or 7 seconds clear overall, ladies and gentlemen, but you got to wonder as well, is he going to be able to save some fuel behind Peterson and potentially get a little bit of a leapfrog on his rival, the 33 car, through the pit stops?
Yeah, there's certainly some fuel to be saved here at V.I.R. Zip. We've got 2 very long straightaways. Lots of cornering, a little bit of left and coasting, and you could certainly save, you know, some opportune time in the pits through strategy.
Well, certainly all you got to do is just be a little bit more gentle on the loud pedal, but certainly we got a little bit of a pack starting to emerge here, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Fichtner currently in the mix of that. Indeed, you got Jared Keane at the front of this pack. He's in the Lamborghini, the number 22, and he's getting a lot of pressure here behind from Ryan O'Connor. Now, O'Connor looking to try and find his way a little bit further through the field. He is indeed a pro-class driver. He's 5,501 iRacing, ladies and gentlemen. He is no slouch by any means. That's not been against Jared Keane, but indeed he's 1951, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly that's not his birth year. It may be, but if so, power to him. He'd be about 75 years old. He'd be even older than Richard, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed older than Robert as well. Robert, that sounded so formal. Robert Campbell.
You know,
oh, dear.
He'd also be older than you, Zip. I mean, let's be honest. If we're going to be honest about things. But Felix Feliz currently 9th place. Felix Feliz are coming around to this section here, having himself a good race thus far. Up 1 position, Andrew Trickett up ahead of him, Jason Park in behind. Car's kind of a little bit stuck, Zip, up and down the field. Not a whole lot of movement going on right now. I'm not sure if we're going to see more. I think maybe people are biding their time, waiting for the pit cycle and see what happens. That said, Ryan O'Connor saying, enough of what you just said, Richard. We're going to take a look at Ryan O'Connor, Jared Keane having a battle going into turn 1 of V.I.R. Side-by-side Lambos. That's taking up a lot of the track, Zip.
Well, certainly, you know, these guys are definitely duking out. We'll see here Jacob Fichtner, the Ottawa driver, looking to try and make a move here. He gets a little bit of contact there with the back of his teammate's car, the Lamborghini, and indeed things start to spice up a little bit there. Jason Kinger, though, goes, thank you very much. I'll take some of that, and sneaks that Porsche through that number 412 up into 6th place. Meanwhile, though, I've got to say, you've seen that cars aren't really moving. Indeed, Richard, put your glasses on. I see plenty of race cars rocking around here at V.I.R.
Well, they just needed me to say they weren't moving, and then they started moving, Zip. I just did my job. I motivated the drivers chasing Kinger. Look at this line. Nice train of cars coming through the S's leading up the hill here. Nice little twisty section into Oak Tree. Everybody looking, they're following that good line. It's all about exit speed here. You got to get a good exit, try and make a run through the trap, but right now we've got a drive train 1, 2, 3. We got 7 cars in this train. We're gonna take a look on board. Jason Park following along behind Felix Feliz, Andrew Trickett up ahead, Jacob Fichtner up there as well.
Well, I'm just grateful we didn't have a 12 car pack. Otherwise, Richard would have to start taking his socks off. But indeed, right now, we see on board here from Jason Park. He's made a couple of sneaky moves here. He's got the number 10 Mustang ahead of Felix Feliz. Is he going to be able to make a move? Don't get me wrong, the draft is helpful, but it's not going to be helpful in this scenario because the Mustang ahead is also getting that same draft. Certainly, the Mustang in a straight line, a little bit of an advantage there, but definitely runs a little bit wide. Does the 55, and indeed this could potentially drop him off the back of this pack there. He's going to have to hope he can really use that Porsche's braking abilities in turn one to try and regain the rest of this pack, as we see the only Acura in the field driven by Colin McKenzie right behind, as the 771 Tyler Graf is the first scheduled pit down pit road.
Yeah, we've still got over 25 minutes left, so Tyler coming in a little early. Obviously, the fuel window is open. Tyler looking for some clear track, maybe to get some good laps in without any traffic impeding him. Either that or just looking for a quick break. Meanwhile, though, race is still on track. We've got Kevin Berquist sitting in 18th place, started 19th. Kevin Berquist having himself a good race thus far. Porsche up ahead, Jay Steffi. Jay Steffi in 17th place.
Well, definitely jealous of the beard on that man. Indeed, he could start as Gandalf in the next Lord of the Rings, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, he has the talent. And if you wanted a longer Gandalf, just look at the beard on Rob the Goatee Campbell as well. Soon to be sponsored by Campbell Super, at least he should be, ladies and gentlemen, as he is a grand old age of ancient and would enjoy a hot, freshened soup. But right now, after I finish roasting these guys, indeed I can't cook, but I can race. You can see here Dale Peterson now. He's still going at it with Dave Jensen. Indeed, the 692 has not been able to apply any more pressure to him, but certainly will be saving fuel behind that fellow AMG. Meanwhile, Jacob Fichtner, he was up in P6. He's dropped one back there behind Joseph Kinger in that move we saw a few months ago, but still has a 5-place advantage over his nearest rival.
Yeah, Fichtner in 7th. He's ahead of all of the Pro-Ams except for Jared Keane. So Fichtner still having himself a great race. Great second half of this season. This keeps up. In the unfortunate incident with James Hand, that's just going to increase his points lead, Zip.
Well, taking a look here, you can see the classes having indeed been separated, ladies and gentlemen. You can see there Oleg Lovkov still going at it with Stephen McDonald. That's your battle in GT3 Pro. Further back though, you can see there the drivers really this is misleading because of the timing. I remember this because look, we got 7th and then 13th. We should adjust that at some point because yeah, that's their overall position, but the timing does not match with where they are in class. As a guy who has a touch of certain different things, that kind of works. I'm confused. Everything's moving. There's lots of pretty flashing lights, and I'm enjoying it, but confused at the same time.
just messing with your mind, which doesn't take much. So, unfortunately, it doesn't take much for me either, Zip. So, let me take a look at the racing.
Yes, see, that I can use. There you go. Rob Campbell finally hitting the button that I was hoping for. Let's try this again. Oleg Lovkov and Stephen McDonald there having a battle in GT3 Pro. Also, as well, you see a battle for P7 in GT3 Pro between Brett Furman and indeed Jay Steffi. These two drivers duking it out, the 69 versus the 247. In GT3 AM, though, things spreading out a little bit there. As you can see there, on time interval alone, Jacob Fichtner about 8 seconds clear. Ian Cabana about 13 seconds behind as well. He's in a pretty strong position there for the GT3 AM podiums. But right now, one of the best battles we got is indeed in the GT3 Pro Am. It's going to be between Andrew Triggett, Felix Feliz, and indeed Jason Park duking it out for second.
Yeah, lots of battles up and down the track, both in class and overall. Right now, we're taking a look here at Felix Feliz in the Mustang coming around the start-finish line. That long kind of sweeping straightaway. Brett Thurman coming into the pits there a little bit early as well. We're a little over halfway through the race, so I guess not too early, but one of the early pitters tonight.
It's not my logic has always been to pit as late as possible, but certainly a good number of drivers, and pretty much every time I see it, go for the undercut, and indeed it does tend to pay off. I think traffic though is a huge part of it. Certainly very few drivers have yet to see be able to have like somebody schedule that pit for them and be able to know where the traffic's going to be. Indeed, with a bit of practice, I reckon you could probably have some good calculations there, as it looks like Josh Gowen now getting into a battle there, and he's slowing down a little bit there. What's going on with Gowen?
Not sure what's going on with Josh Gowen. Maybe he had a slowdown. He's looks like he's going back up full pace now, Zip. So
I'm taking a quick look here. You can see there on the exit at turn 1, Everything's looking good. Everything's looking clean. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Slight loss. Slight loss of concentration as the Ferrari pretty much waves by, and it looks like a second one trying to make a move. Meanwhile, we got Mark Kalin, and he does indeed have a driver cam, one of the very few. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to see more of you here on Racing Nexus as Kalin definitely got a little bit of damage to the front of that Mustang. Indeed, the splitter is a little bit crumpled as that man is indeed working hard, ladies and gentlemen. Matching gloves to the paint now.
Yeah, that's Mustangs are good at driving with a little bit of front end damage. Though Zip, they're kind of used to that, and Mark Kalin used to driving that car. Yeah, it looks a little bit of flat nose there, doesn't it, Zippy?
It reminds me a little bit of a pit bull. It's adorable, but it does indeed appear to have run into a brick wall. But meanwhile, we've got Steve McDonald, who has gone on taking the lead here from Oleg Lovkov. Let's take a look here at the patch. You can see there behind, absolutely just sneak attack up there on the exit of Oak Tree. And you got to say, I think that may have indeed been intentional there. Lovkov now will get a chance to try and save some fuel behind the 65.
Yeah, it was mighty nice of Steve McDonald to take the hit and go up front when they're just about ready to enter the pits. So really, I don't think that gives Oleg Lovkov much opportunity to save some fuel, but these two teammates just gap in the field at this stage. Oleg Lovkov has got a 6 1/4 second gap to Jack Hedgecox in third. So we're gonna go a little further back in the field where the action's a little closer. We've got Jared Keane having Jason Kinger in behind him, Jacob Figner behind them. These cars are kind of nicely bunched up with lots of good hard racing going on. He's coming through Oak Tree, going wide is Keane getting passed by 2 there.
Well, certainly one thing I have noticed, especially about Throttle Freaks, is there's a lot of teams here, and indeed the team camaraderie is very much in play. Right now, Sole Prec Position Racing Black taking 4 of the 5 spots in the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. The only one really throwing a little bit of a problem with that is Jack Hedgecoach there in the number 88. He certainly had a cleaner start today. He's currently there in P3 as well, so power to him. Then have a little bit further look down. The SRTE teams, you've got green, black. There's several of them, ladies and gentlemen. And currently you've got Jacob Fickner and Jared Keane there in P6 and 7. As we see, Drew DeWeese making a pit stop in a Mustang there that I believe matches the only Audi on the field. I've got a feeling they may indeed be on the same team as well.
I think you're a little more observant than me, Zip, but Jared Keane here coming along, having himself a good race. Oh my goodness, look at this close battle. This is an interesting corner. A couple of different ways to take it, but you've got to use a lot of the track. Little slippery section here that can swing it out wide, right, bring it into the left, use all of the curbing, and then a little bit some. Andrew Trickett behind the back of Jared Keane at this stage, and go up with a nice right-hander, another right-hander. Then they're going to come up through the Zip.
Well, certainly this is probably one of my favorite parts of the track. As soon as you go around after turn 1, indeed, it reminds me a little bit of my home course here in Nova Scotia, Canada, of Atlantic Motorsport Park. They call it the roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, both of these tracks getting affectionately dubbed that name. But see here, this left-hander, you got to give it a little bit of the brakes, not just because you need to slow down, but also to get a little bit of weight there on the nose, help the car rotate. It's a Lamborghini there, and a little bit of flirtatious there. As Andrew Trickett didn't quite make the braking, I don't believe so. Runs a little bit deep there. Thankfully, able to keep control of that AMG, but falls back a little bit there to Jared Keane in the 22. Meanwhile, although certainly Jacob Fickner has moved down through the order. I'm hoping he's pit. Indeed, I believe he has. As Dave Jensen, the AMG there, may have indeed almost needed a tow.
Yeah, David Jensen having himself a little bit of an issue, but that's okay. Back on track and no real harm. David Jensen, watch him take it on the replay. Just a little bit of a power slide through the corner.
Well, meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that the pit road is an absolute onslaught of cars right now. Oleg McDonald, that's an interesting combo. Oleg Lovkov, Stephen McDonald, Jack Hedgecoach, Ryan O'Connor, Jason Kinner, Jared Keane, Andrew Trickett, Colin McKenzie, Dale Peterson, Jay Stevie, Kevin Berquist, all of these cars making it down pit road. And you see, he worried I couldn't get through a 30-car grid. Rookie mistake, sir.
Yeah, but Jason Park and David Bush III did not come in the pits, so they're going around for another lap. That moves Steve McDonald down to 3rd place right now, but he'll be effectively the leader once this pit cycle finishes.
Well, certainly Richard Swindell's there, occasionally sounding like he is auditioning for a part in Wall-E. We do apologise about that. Not for his internet connection, but because of the fact that it's Richard Swindell's, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, you can see William Fenton there. He's just been passed by a couple of drivers, Jay Steffi being one of them, and he has got the Ferrari right behind him. I believe Kevin Bergquist incredibly closely, gentlemen. As there goes Tyler Graf, making a move on the outside. The closing speed was absolutely insane. 77-1 though, able to move his way up into 13th place. He's 8 positions up overall, but Jay Steffi now up 13 positions on the day. But let's go take a quick look here at your new race leader. It's the Canadian driver. It's the 55 Porsche of Jason Park, currently out there leading it with David Busch about 7.5 seconds behind for Lunatic Racing, up 13 positions as well.
Yeah, they're certainly leaders on the board, Zip, but we'll see what happens once the pit cycle ends. These two drivers still have to take their fuel. Otherwise, they're not going to make it much further. David Busch, the third, up into second place, going around. He's going to come into the pits this time, I got to imagine. Otherwise, he's just going to be a sitting duck and running out of fuel. So we're just taking a look here, waiting for David Busch, the third, to make his scheduled pit stop. Jason Park.
Well, salt and pepper, there you go. There's the 32, David Busch the third, making his way down pit road, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, Stephen McDonald is going to be retaking the lead of that race. Oleg Lovkov right behind him. Right behind him. He's behind by about 2 seconds, and certainly Steve McDonald able to save a little bit there in the fuel behind his teammate, and indeed it's paid off. Meanwhile, Jason Park's in a bit. Jack Hedgecoast, though, he's about 10 seconds clear of the leader, ladies and gentlemen, and not in a direction he'd like it to be.
No, not where you want to be, but that's all right. We'll see here. The last of our people to stop are coming around. Is the gaggle of cars comes through. Jared Keane up to 7th place. Jared Keane continuing that good battle with the Jason Park. We got all kinds of racing going on. Colin McKenzie sitting here in 11th place right now. Zip. Colin McKenzie with Felix Felipe. He's up ahead of him.
Certainly, Colin McKenzie, you are going to score some points in this commentator's point of view because you've got bronze wheels, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed the Chupacabra right there on that rear wing. Indeed, the Lunatic Racing machine, and the only accurate in the field. It's definitely given a good challenge here to the back of Felix Feliz. Indeed, it is a battle for the Pro-Am class. It's going to continue with Jacob Fichtner up ahead. They're doing very well in the M class. He's even more positions clear now. He somehow, through some miracle, managed to get 10 positions clear of Dave Jensen. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely fantastic stuff. Chicken nugget and fries here. As you can see, Colin McKenzie currently there in the 11th for Lunatic Racing.
Chicken nugget and fries. My goodness. We're taking a look at this one. We've got 8 cars here all paddling along, Zip. We're 32 minutes almost into this race. Still 8 cars nose to tail. Jacob Fichtner currently 9th. I lost a little bit on that pit cycle, but battling hard. He's down 1 position before he started. Still leader in class, so still the leader of the amateurs with Andrew Trickett up ahead, Jared Keane, Jason Park up ahead.
Well, certainly some fantastic battles going on throughout the field. Jacob Fichtner, the Canadian driver, legend, the Ottawa driver in the 33. It's certainly doing well, but can he try and find a few more advantages here and try and find his way past the AMG, the 514 of Andrew Trickett. Jared Keane just ahead. Jason Park about 2 seconds up the road as well. Or indeed 0.2 of a second up the road. You see here, leading the pack in that number 55 Porsche is right now Felix Feliz going side by side here with the AMG of Jacob Fichtner. This is not the direction that Fichtner wants it to go, as the inside is going to be taken there by Felix, but is it going to be a side-by-side battle? We've got Colin McKenzie here for the Lunatic Racing machine. He's going to be the camera car, as Feliz has been able to make his way forward. Dave Jensen managed to make his way forward position as well. That gap is indeed closing. Tea and Biscuits, ladies and gentlemen, Tea and Biscuits, as Fichtner is trying to fight for a M-Class win.
Oh my goodness. Good close racing. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Tea and Biscuits next. Everything's got to do tea with you, Zippy, but Dave Jensen, 18th place. Let me take a look at the replays here. What happens with Kevin Bergquist? Kevin Bergquist running slow off the track on the grass. Not sure what caused that little issue. Yeah, it's
definitely
a little bit late here.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of toast and marmalade there for Kevin Bergquist. That's not the line he was looking for with the Crikey Esports machine, the number 64. But right now, he's going to find himself under a little bit more pressure here. He's got one of the SRTE cars right behind him. As you see there, boom. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm not quite sure how he managed that.
Yeah. Yeah, he had the right side up on the grass and on the curb, and swung the car to the left into the wall. Zip, pretty basic. And we take a look at Robert Jeffries having a little bit of incident, doing a nice power slide through there. trying to save it. Oh, and the car finally comes around. No damage done, though. Jeffrey's getting the car spun around relatively quickly.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Tea cakes and fruitcake in the afternoon indeed. You see William Fenton there, the Australian driver, currently in P16. It's definitely not been the race he's been looking for. He's down 11 spots so far, and he's got pressure behind him from Seb Gauthier. Now, looking at back here, Seb Gauthier currently in P6 for class. It's not been the race he's really been looking for. He's down for the 4 positions as well. And he's looking a little bit unhappy about it, I might add there, looking at the headshot. Certainly that would be great if you could have dynamic headshots so you had to retake every like 30 seconds. That would be so much fun. There you go, an idea for you, SDK. As we see from the back here of Gauthier, you can see the number 18 here. Quite a good amount of pressure. Sorry, that's 18th place. Laying pipe, ladies and gentlemen, the 692 of Dave Jensen.
Seb Gauthier, he's kind of been infamous for his mugshot driver profile pick. Take a look here. Tyler Graff is sending it. Tyler Graff up to 13th place and making a huge dive on Jay Steffi, getting through relatively cleanly, it looks like here. Nice move by Tyler Graff.
Well, you say that, there's definitely a little bit of damage on the left front corner there of Jay Steffi. I can see that feather's a little bit killed even before that contact. I do believe it may have got a little bit worse, but fair play. He saw Graff come across. There wasn't really anything he could do. I would like to know where that damage came into play, though. Certainly a little bit unfortunate. It was right now Felix Feliz now trying to apply a little bit more pressure as Jacob Pickles managed to make his way by. What happened to Feliz?
Yeah, it looks like he may have had a little excursion off track as well, Zip. Haven't seen many slowdowns. Have seen drivers using a little bit too much grass, and by a little bit I mean any. Yeah, he came in a little too hot there, got to get on the binders, lost all momentum. The other drivers getting by.
Yeah, just about trying to keep a nose in there, ladies and gentlemen, as indeed that got a little bit wide. And you see Colin McKenzie say thank you very much, able to capitalize on that, and as a result he's now up ahead of the number 10 car of Felix Feliz.
Yeah, Felix Feliz looking to try and get those positions back. We've got 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes left. 20, we're going to go about 26. So Jason Park, all kinds of close racing here, folks. Jason Park, Jared Keane, Andrew Trickett, all in a good close battle here.
Well, certainly, honestly, I was hoping to get away with a few more team biscuits, bangers and mash, and certainly before, but Richard able to pick that up on the second one, ladies and gentlemen. So indeed, the old man can learn new tricks, but certainly we're trying to keep the ladies and gentlemen counter down, and you know what? We've lost the counter, ladies and gentlemen, so you know what? Team biscuits it is.
We haven't. We have not lost the counters, and we were 55 officially.
No, it's not that high.
I've been hitting it every time you announce it. I got the Cali. You started out high, you slowed down, but we still got up to 55 as we take a look at Jason Kinger coming around the exit of Oak Tree. See, I can multitask. No, it's not quite 999.
That's Jason not what your wife said.
Sitting there in 4th place.
Oh dear. I may actually be speechless at one point. I just feel like I've been greased, absolutely greased. It's a characteristic, it's an affectionately doped wine, and indeed it's a drinking game for one driver's parents, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly that is something I'm looking forward to seeing on the Jerry Springer show, or indeed Dr. Phil. But right now, Jared Keane is indeed keen to find his way forward past Jason Park, as this is a battle going on in the Pro-Am class for 6th, 7th, and 8th overall, or indeed the podium for that class.
The podium's always nice, isn't it? But up front on the inset, taking a look at Oleg Lovkov sitting in second. Oleg Lovkov following along behind to Steve McDonald. They're about a second apart. Jack Hedgecock's 10.5 seconds back of them. Battle on the main screen, though. Jared Keane still sitting in 7th place. Jason Park ahead. Andrew Trickett in behind. These 3 cars have been nose to tail for quite some time now, Zip.
But certainly the racing has been absolutely incredible. I've got to say, hats off to these guys. Looking back from Monza as well, there's just one driver who got a penalty. We'll call him out. Jay Steffi had a little bit more warning from that race as well. Certainly V.I.R has looked pretty clean so far. Indeed, actually had a race yesterday I got to commentate, and it was a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Race control was, they needed a stiff drink after that one. Indeed, I would have poured them a double, if not a triple, and called them a cab home. Certainly, it was a rough day for them. But right now, it's been pretty clean here at Throttle Freaks. As right now, Andrew Trickett in the 514, still trying to find his way past the Lamborghini here of Jared Keane, battling for P7 overall.
Yeah, these three drivers making a good hard battle of it. We've got another train of 4 cars in behind them. So right now, Brett Thurman sitting in 15th place. Kind of in the middle of that mix is it. We got Brett Thurman and William Fenton still on his recovery run in behind him. Jay Steffi up ahead. All kinds of cars. Tyler Graff were leading that train though.
Yeah, William Fenton in the number 7 car has got a slowdown. He's going to have to serve very quickly as well. Seb Gauthier could see an opportunity here, and indeed, you can see here the Ferrari just trying to bleed off the speed. He's got to do it quickly, or indeed he will be given a black flag, and that's pretty much game over, ladies and gentlemen. You will have to do a drive-through through the pits. As you can see there, Seb Gauthier, look at Stern. Is he going to see the opportunity? Benson's now a shave the slowdown, but in the process, it's bring Gauthier 6/10 of a second closer as Fenton off the track again, ladies and gentlemen. The Australian driver really having a couple of struggles for grip here in the closing stages of this race. Meanwhile, further up though, that is the pop-up Porsche there of Tyler Graff having to put on a defensive move against Jay Steffi. And once again, these guys are battling it out for P13.
Yeah, 40 minutes into this race, going too wide through here. We get Tyler Graff. We've got Tyler Graff and Jay Steffi, Brett Thurman, William Fenton, Seb Gauthier, and then we've even got Dave Jensen in the mix here.
Whoa.
All these drivers have battled. Whoa, a little bit of sliding, but no, everything's okay, Zip.
Well, I say that the marshals have obviously decided to do a Mexican wave around the track. Jared Keane in the 22, Colin McKenzie in the 15, and indeed David Bush the third, being the third slowdown flag to be issued, ladies and gentlemen, on this one lap. Indeed, the drivers are going to have to bleed it off. This could be an opportunity here for Felix Feliz, as if I'm not mistaken, McKenzie will try and bleed that off in the apex as much as possible. If Felix wants to go and find his way past, he's going to have to do it on the straight, ladies and gentlemen, as McKenzie has not been able to shake that and absolutely breezes by.
The problem is you wait too long to serve that slowdown, and that slowdown just keeps increasing in time. You've got penalty. Take a look at here what happened with William Fenton. Oh, a little bit of a boop up ahead. Oh, spun the car ahead. Oh no, and the two SRTE cars collide. All kinds of calamity there. Brett Thurman involved, William Fenton involved. I'm not sure who else. So that may have been Seb Gauthier, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have a feeling if that was a Taylor Swift song, it definitely would have a little bit of heartache in it, and indeed to be on Spotify. And you see there, Seb Gauthier looking clean so far. He's in the back of that, I believe. I believe he's in the AMG. Ends up going and collecting his teammate. Fair play, though, to Dave Jensen. He zigged, he zagged, he dipped, ducked, dived, dodged, and dipped, and indeed made his way through there. Patrick O'Houlihan with the coaching strategy there for the evasive maneuver.
Yeah. Dave Jensen looking like he's doing his best impression of the finish of the Daytona 500, getting through there relatively cleanly. Nice job by Dave Jensen, but unfortunate circumstances for the SRTE cars. Brett Thurman has jumped the pits. Looks like his race is over.
I would say Dave Jensen, he's known for laying quiet, but I do have to wonder if he's going to start in Magic Mike after having moves like that. Certainly, if you want to see it, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be here live on Swindell's personal YouTube channel. But in the meantime, though, we're currently watching the 55 of Jason Park. He's currently leading the program class. Indeed, Andrew Trickett falling back to about 1.4 seconds. And Fichtner has just been able to make a move here on Jared Keane.
Yeah, Fichtner back to where he started, 8th place, but we've only got about 2 laps to go once the leaders cross the start-finish line. Jacob Fichtner up to 8th, though. Currently leading the race, Steve McDonald. First place, he's got himself just a half second over teammate Oleg Lovkov. Jack Edgecote's 12.2 seconds back. Just coming around here, we're on the lap at 25. Jack Edgecote's rather solid race. Zip, kind of boring for him though once those drivers got out ahead.
Yeah, certainly one thing I've seen is the 831 there, Robert Jeffries, has just had to serve a black flag, ladies and gentlemen. He may have picked up a few too many instant points here. As we see Colin McKenzie now, he's currently in 11th place for Lunatic Racing, as that is another car coming out of the pits. That may indeed be Robert Jeffries there, making his way out of pit road. But indeed, you can see here, the battle is still on. Felix Feliz just ahead, and indeed, Robert Jeffries there, he served that slowdown, and indeed, definitely not the race he was looking for, but the battle for P10 overall continues, ladies and gentlemen, as Fichtner able to make his way past Jared Keane. I do have to wonder if we could get a replay of that potentially, as it looked like he pretty much just shot past him in one clean move.
Yeah, take a look here. Jacob Fichtner coming over. Nothing going on here. Well, that's how he made it in one clean move, Zip. Makes it a little bit easier when your opponent goes off track. Jared Keane getting a little too deep into Oak Tree, taking to the grass. Fickner going around quite easily.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the easier passes. Nothing is easier than a freebie, ladies and gentlemen, as long as you don't go and follow them, because like, oh, look at that. Certainly, I've seen many drivers do that before, myself included. But right now, Stephen McDonald is going to be taking the white flag this lap, I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way down the start finish. It's looking good here for Solbreak Precision Racing Black. As indeed, I'm looking for Barney, ladies and gentlemen. He's got to be here somewhere. Maybe he's on strike. Maybe he's on a unionized coffee break. As we got a battle for the lead now. Oleg Lovkov looks to try and apply a little bit of a squeeze there to the teammate. Steve McDonald, are we going to see them duking it out? Meanwhile, Jack Hedgecote, he's within about 2 seconds of Ryan O'Connor. He may be able to capitalize on this should these two come together, but certainly a bit too far back for these guys to be in any immediate threat.
Yeah, I think they're well aware of where Jack Hedgecote says it's race time. Both these drivers want the win. I don't think they're going to jeopardize their team chances, but with that nice 12-second gap, they can stand it a little bit, Zip. We're going to see what happens as we conclude. We're about just over half a lap remaining here. Oleg Lovkov hunting down Steve McDonald. I think a lot's going to come down to the exit out of Oak Tree.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be a battle down the back straight indeed. I believe it's called Madison Avenue, but don't quote me on that. As you see, there's a 65 running a wide line. Oh, we can see an over-under here from Oleg Lovkov. He's going to be right behind in the draft here. What can Stephen McDonald do to defend against his teammate? As Ryan O'Connor has picked up a slowdown as well. That ends his chance of potentially getting a pass there on Jack Hedgecote. But indeed, McDonald, these look like both of these drivers have got enough fuel. Can Lovkov make a move here at the end? They're going to go side by side potentially. Yep, here we go. Lovkov goes and sends it to the outside, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it's going to be side by side. Oh, incredibly close racing. A Kodak moment for sure. As that's contact. Oh dear, friendly fire. McDonald gets the tank slapper going. Here comes the Audi. And oh my God. Gosh, almost murder, ladies and gentlemen. Oleg Lovkov. And there comes Hedgecote, ladies and gentlemen. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. See, the Teddies are going to be out the pram, ladies and gentlemen. Oleg Lovkov, we'll have to see a replay of that. This could be an interesting interview.
That was awesome. That's what you want to see. The teammates were battling. Didn't cost them any team points. Barely. Jack Hedgecote still coming in third. Take a look here in fifth place. Fifth place, we got Jason King and Ryan O'Connor up ahead of them. They're going to come in fourth for Ryan O'Connor, fifth for Jason Kinger.
Meanwhile, you see Andrew Trickett still very much hot in the pursuit here of Jason Park. Further back, Tyler Graf there looking to find his way past Jay Steffi. These guys have been fighting for the last couple of laps, and indeed, Jay Steffi having a little bit of damage there on that left front corner. The pop-out Porsche, though, is he going to get the exit he needs? The gap down to about 0.3 of a second. It's falling very, very slowly. No. It is. It's falling very, very slowly there. It's just not fast enough as Dave Jensen, the tow master himself, indeed the Chupacabra, makes his way across the line in P2 in the AM class. Further back, though, Evan Jones, the only Aston Martin in the field, trying to find another position in the form of David Moore. So 21 is in 21st, but is he going to be able to keep hold of it? Indeed, I don't think Jones is going to be close enough. He's about 0.6 of a second back.
Yeah, it looks like, somebody...
What's going on with Feliz?
At the end, it was that Felix Feliz. Yeah. He's out of fuel.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so let's have a look here. You see Felix Feliz going in there, getting a little bit of a contact there off the back of the Acura of Colin McKenzie. Maybe take that from a different angle, then on rejoin, decides to exit once more. There we go, from a more aerial shot. So you see there, Felix goes up on the inside, not quite side by side. Ends up getting a little bit of a contact, and on corner exit, a little bit of oversteer. On rejoin, a little bit of a tank slapper there. One tyre gets gripped, one tyre still on the grass, and indeed, definitely not the race ending he was looking for the number 10. Oh, did you see what happened down there? Look at Jay Steffi going past Robert Jeffries. Look.
Yeah, we take
Here's a replay of the
two teammates.
Bonk.
Oh.
Papaya rules, Rich. Papaya rules.
That did look like Lando and Oscar, but unlike in that incident, both drivers come through relatively unscathed, and teammates finish 1-2. Take a look here. What happened with Jay Steffi? Well, I think Jay Steffi just slowing down because
yeah, that's the end.
Race is over.
I think that was more Force India, certainly the days of Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon. I think that would be a little bit more appropriate. But let's get a chat here with Oleg Lovkov very shortly. But first, we should probably do the results. Look at this. Rob Campbell, the man behind the production screens, once again showing off, ladies and gentlemen. He's so smug, ladies and gentlemen. But let's have a look at these rather beautiful, rather cosmetically appealing results. Is that good enough for you to send the check in the mail? Indeed. Actually, make it out to cash. I'll collect when I come to motorsport. But certainly, Oleg Lovkov there with the fastest lap of the race as well. He took the win with Stephen McDonald getting a little bit of a slight detour near the end. Even him taking second with Jack Hedgecote. Having a pretty solo race there in third. In fourth, we had Jared Keane for SRTE Black with William Benson in fifth. Wow, good recovery there from William Benson. Ryan O'Connor took sixth with Jason Kinger in seventh. Jacob Fichtner down into eighth, and Andrew Trickett in ninth, and Felix Feliz in 10th.
Yeah, 11th place. We had Jason Park. Oh, we're going to hold on. We've got.
Oh my gosh. You compliment the producer, you compliment his graphics, and the whole time he's just sat there bathing in his glory before he realizes he put up qualifying. I tell you what, I read the top 10 the first time. Rich, you can take over at this point.
Okay, we'll try it again, folks. Oleg Lovkov for Salt Pick Precision in first place, beating out Steve McDonald in more than one way for second. We've got Jack Hedgecote in third, Ryan O'Connor fourth, Jason Kinger rounding out the top five, Jason Park managing to finish sixth with Andrew Trickett in seventh, Jacob Fichtner, our top amateur, is eighth, Jared Keane in ninth. Colin McKenzie is your top 10 for the second time, Zip.
Well, very nicely done there by Richard. Indeed, as we have a look here at P11, it's going to be David Bush the third with Jay Stiffy in 12th. Tyler Graf takes 13th with Andrew Naro in 14th. Dave Jensen, he's there in 15th with Josh Cohen in 16th. A good hard charge by him. 14 positions, ladies and gentlemen. Good job there. William Benson took 17th with Seb Gauthier. Having a little bit of a unfortunate incident near the end by Otree. He's there in 18th with Ian Cabana in 19th. And David Morse rounding out your top 20.
At 21st is Evan Jones, 22nd Felix Feliz, Mark Kalins 23rd, Steve McLean 24th, Andy Mills 25th, Neil Alexander 26th. We had Christopher Rhines, Barry Cochran 28th, Drew DeWeese at 29th. Then we have 2 laps down, Robert Jeffries in 30th.
Having a look at 31st was Kevin Bergquist with Jeff Evans in 32nd. Brett Furman, he was there in 33rd with James Sand having an unfortunate incident earlier on. My fellow Brett, he's there in 34th with Dale Peterson in 35th. Matt Taylor took 36th with Nick Bruno in 37th. Certainly a few drivers here not quite cutting the mustard, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, they retired early with Herbert Pineda having an unusual issue going into turn 1 and absolutely yeeted his teammate. Sorry there, buddy. With Frank Pisano in 39th and Carsten Quinn rounding out your top 40.
And there's no more, so that's our top of everybody. Zip, 40 car entries, 40 car field, and great race tonight.
Well, it's certainly an absolutely fantastic race, but we have indeed managed to catch up with the driver of the number 690 car, Oleg. Definitely an interesting battle for yourself and Stephen near the end. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
We crashed. well, it was fine. It was close. Yeah, there was a bit of netcode. We sorted it out. It's all good. Stephen did the big brain move of not putting enough fuel in the car, so he was saving a lot. That's why I caught up to him so much over that last stint. But also, I struggled with my clutches again to get out of the pit box. And other skill issues that I had during the race, like going off at Oak Tree, not ideal, not the fastest line. But yeah, other than that, it was very eventful towards the end.
Well, certainly, I honestly don't think I can really say anything, really. You're 7,000 iRating. You've just managed to get a P1 win here at Throttle Freaks at V.I.R, and you're saying you had a skill issue. I'd be actually a little bit concerned what would happen if you had a good day. Certainly, I think a few people would pretty much give up at that point. Indeed, an incredibly potent drive. But fair play. I had a feeling McDonald was actually able to save quite a bit of fuel behind you in the start of that race. Now, yourself racing against Steven, do you tend to actually ever have any team tactics, or is it all just an outright fight to the end?
We race. I mean, unless it's, we're trying to pull away from the pack, which we weren't really planning. We just drove. And then, yeah, we had this switcheroo when I went off track. And then in the pits, and I thought, oh, well, that's it, because he was 2-point-something seconds ahead, but then evidently had to save a ton of fuel. And then I mean, we still race. We're a racing team, so we're doing racing, putting the racing in iRacing.
Oh, absolutely fair play to you. But I got to admit,
that before the start of the interview, definitely.
Yeah, I got to admit, Oleg, just talking to you myself, you do sound like you could be related to Ben Collins. Certainly yourself, I mean, as a fellow Brit, and I got to say, fair play to you, definitely got the skill to be Ben Collins. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you wonder who the Stig is in iRacing, we're pretty much going to label this guy. And certainly today's race winner, Oleg Lovkov. But before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to shout out, including Stig?
Well, I'm definitely not the Stig, but I am the Stig's sim racing cousin. Aha!
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to nice. Wow. Okay, you got jingles. Thanks to all the drivers. Great racing. I really enjoyed it. Thanks to the team. Thanks to you guys for organizing it. As always, Solpec Precision Racing. We're going to keep trying to haul in a bit more points till the end of the season. Everyone did great at the factory as well. Great work, team.
I'm not laughing in sarcasm. I'm just saying that like he's really selling this, and I got to say, fair play to you. But I'm actually pretty lost. So certainly, Oleg, that was an absolute pleasure. It was a pleasure of an interview indeed. It's good, especially as well, when you see somebody who comes in who's that fast and is so humble as well, saying, "Oh yeah, I made mistakes." Absolutely fantastic stuff. But indeed, a good solid drive for you here at V.I.R. And I have a feeling we'll be speaking to you again here next week at the booth. We'll have to see if you can pull it off. Trying to think of actually where are we heading next week. Subtle cue there from my comrades.
Bathurst. Bathurst, yours.
Bathurst. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Because it's
how do you feel about that particular venue?
Pretty terrible. I'm gonna try and finish. I'm gonna try and have one of my good days, which might finally happen, or I don't have skill issues as much. Skill issues there aren't really part of the race procedure because it's you can only have one. That's the last one. So
yeah, definitely.
Gonna try my best.
The car's definitely going to spit the dummy out and want to give up if things go a little bit sideways at Bathurst. But certainly, we're going to wish you the best luck. And indeed, congratulations there on your win today at V.I.R.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was indeed Oleg Lovkov. Rich, I understand you've been able to catch up with another driver. I'm going to make a guess. You're going to pick Mr. Jack Edgekirks.
Hey, Jack. Another strong result. Another podium finish.
Yeah.
Guys kind of made it hard on you, but you held your own, and you had kind of a boring race from our perspective. How was it from yours?
Yeah, pretty boring. Pretty boring, Richard. I was by myself. It's like I was driving a road trip at 2 a.m. on a highway by myself. I had a huge gap in front, huge behind. I mean, it was just staying on the track, really. Yeah, they like you said, they made it hard for me. So,
Jack, if you're gonna have a boring race, being on the podium in a boring race is certainly one way to go. You've obviously had some good pace tonight. Outside of Oleg and Steven, nobody could keep up with you. But next week we're going to Bathurst, Mount Panorama. That's gonna be a way different thing. What are you expecting at Bathurst with potentially a huge field like 40 cars?
Hopefully we don't have a kangaroo go across the track. But in all seriousness, just hopefully we don't have any lap 1 incidents for the field. I just hope I can qualify well, and I've been looking at the championship standings, and it's going to be close. As long as I'm confident I can at least keep a podium most of the time. It just depends on how the Solpec guys, what their performance is looking like, if I have a chance to beat them. So hopefully I can get ahead of them and
you've done yourself proud this season, and you've battled them hard. This week maybe not as close as a lot of other weeks. Your teammate Josh Goen also having a solid effort, starting 30th up 14 positions. So team's doing all right this season. You must be pretty happy with your progress.
Yeah, it's better than I expected. I didn't think I would be in the championship in first. Obviously I know Steven's had some mishaps with either connection or other things, so I'm fortunate to be in this spot that I am. But hopefully I can, especially racing them too. I mean, they're very quick, and it's nice when you're able to be competitive with them. So.
Well, it certainly boosts the ego, Jack. Congratulations. Any shout outs tonight?
Shout outs to, I don't think my dad was watching, but shout out to Dad, like always. I always shout out to Pa. And shout out to Josh for tonight. I know he didn't have a great quali, but good recovery drive for him and any of the team that was watching. And then shout out to Logitech for supplying the sim rig that I use.
So, well, we'll see you next week at Bathurst, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, guys.
Well, indeed, that was Jack Hedgecoats there, able to catch up with Richard Swindells. But somebody who I've been able to catch up with is Jason Park. He finished P8 overall and won the Pro-Am class today for Riot Motorsports. Certainly a challenging race indeed. Looks like he was really working hard today in that Porsche. A lot of traffic in front of you, and at times a lot of traffic behind you. How did you handle the pressure?
It was tough. I really struggled coming out of the last corner, so trying to get a good exit was tough for me, and so felt like I was always defending into turn one, but I was able to fuel save enough. I did an extra lap before the pit cycle, and I think I jumped like 3 or 4 guys in the pits, and luckily I was able to stay ahead. I think it's a hard track to pass that, so kind of worked out.
Well, certainly Jason must be built like a brick outhouse. I couldn't take on 1 guy, let alone 3 or 4, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly a pit lane brawl if you want to take it that way. But certainly a fantastic job done by yourself today. And not only that, P7 overall, I believe it's P7 overall. Certainly Rob will remind us for them beautiful, sexy results he keeps putting up. And indeed, I haven't run him having P6. Look at that. Attaboy. I was selling you short there, Jason. I apologize for that. But certainly an absolutely fantastic result. And indeed, a Canadian driver as well. Which part of Canada are you in, sir?
I'm in Toronto, just outside of Toronto.
I am so sorry to hear that, but certainly we will indeed congratulate you on your fantastic win today. But I was able to get 3 people in one comment. That was not just a buy one get one free, it's buy one get 2 free for that. But certainly, Jason, I got to say, fair play to you. You've done Toronto proud today. Certainly, you have a better success rate than the Maple Leafs, and anybody who knows anything about hockey or doesn't will know that that's a pretty honest race. But certainly, Jason, we're heading over to Bathurst next week. It's definitely not going to be quite as forgiving a circuit. Yourself, how do you feel about taking on the mountain?
Oh, it's tough. Like sometimes it gets tricky coming down the hill there. So I know one of the races I definitely was in the lead and I spun myself out. So I got to be cautious next race.
Certainly is a track of low risk, high reward, and certainly should things go pear-shaped, it will indeed be a clogged up sink of a circuit. But right now, Jason, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to shout out?
Shout out to Dale and Jay of Riot Motorsport. Jay helped me out quite a bit during the practice, helping me with lines and whatnot, so it definitely helped throughout the race. So shout out to Riot, guys.
Well, fair play, ladies and gentlemen. Doing Toronto proud today, the one and only Jason Park, able to take a win here in the Pro-Am class, and indeed P6 overall.
Thanks, fellas.
Well, Richard, who have you caught up with next?
Let's see here if we can find Andrew Trickett. Hey, Andrew, we got Richard in the booth. Congratulations on the second place in class tonight.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
It was, what a battle you had. It was you, Jacob, Jason. You had a lot of racing for a 45-minute sprint race. Never really had time to let up, it didn't look like.
Not at all. Yeah, there was no time at all. I'm exhausted, to tell you the truth. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of close battles throughout the entire race. And Jason did an amazing pit stop, leapfrogged pretty much everybody. And I was hoping he was going to run out of fuel, but he held it together there to the end and had a little bit left, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely hard to pass out there.
Yeah, it looked like hard to pass, but you certainly provided some very exciting entertainment for us here in the booth, being able to watch that race and the people watching it at home. Second place, we've got 2 more races left this season, and next week at Bathurst. Then we're going over to the Norges GP track. Definitely a different track at Bathurst than here. What do you expect from the Mercs? Mercs did really well here at V.I.R. How are they going to do at Bathurst?
I guess it depends on if you get into the walls or not. So how often did you keep out of the walls and try and keep it clean and stay in some battles? But you know, you never know what's going to happen on those first couple of laps. So I'll just try to keep it clean and see what happens after that. But I've never had a lot of luck at Bathurst, so hopefully that will change the next race.
Yeah, you must be due then, Andrew. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out tonight?
No one in particular, but you guys, thank you for doing what you do. The other racers there for putting on a good show and being clean about it. So yeah, it's fun every week. Look forward to it, and for you guys putting on a good show, it's great.
Oh, thanks a lot. We look forward to seeing you next week at Mount Panorama. Congratulations once again on 2nd place, 7th overall. We will see you next week.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Hey, Zippy, before we go to the last interview, I just like to make an announcement. It's 75 is the count for tonight, folks. 75, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we're going to say screw it to Richard's count there. As ladies and gentlemen, we have brought in Jacob Fichtner. Certainly, Jacob, you've been absolutely on form today. Able to get a P8 overall. It looked like a P6 earlier on, and indeed able to take the AM class win, a huge advantage over your comrades there. Now, I have to ask, V.I.R, is that on your Princess approved track list, or was it just, you know, you just had the magic today?
I came in kind of struggling, but some practice with some teammates, realized what I need to focus on, fix those mistakes, and yeah, was able to have some decent beats today, so can't complain.
Well, certainly fair play to you. Indeed, it's been a pretty exciting race so far. Certainly V.I.R is definitely on my Princess approved track list, but we are heading over to Bathurst next week. Definitely one of the more unforgiving circuits, and you know, practicing with your teammates, how would you guys like approach practice? Would you guys do laps together? Do you coach each other? Tell us a little bit about that here on the SRT side.
Yeah, a little bit of both. We do 2 full practice days, so simulation, practice, quali, and race, and we'll look at each other's telemetry and ride along and focus on where to improve. So yeah, it's been a great way to gain speed. It's just doing it together as a team, and luckily the team has some really fast guys on it that you can always learn a thing or two from.
Well, certainly fair play, and indeed the results and the work has paid off today. From what I was hearing, if my memory serves me correctly, you're potentially looking at a promotion next season. I've got to say, with a result like a P8 overall, I'm inclined to agree. Certainly a good result, but we are heading over to Bathurst next week. Now, yourself, definitely a V.I.R a little bit more forgiving, but Bathurst have taken on the mountain. How do you think that's going to work out for the driver of the number 33?
Ooh, I'm going to focus on survival first and pace second. So yeah, my strategy is keep it clean until the end of the race and see what I can do in terms of place. So yeah, I won't be focusing on speed. I'm going to be focusing on safety and consistency.
Well, certainly fair play. Indeed, Bathurst is a circuit of low risk, high reward. But you did your teammates very proud today for the Speedworks racing team, eSport, and indeed you've done Canada proud as well. Actually, which part of Canada are you from there, Jacob?
I'm from Ottawa.
Yes, we have a hit.
Don't tell him that, Jacob. Oh no.
Yeah. No, I remember it now. It popped up on the graphic now. Jacob, I lived in Ottawa for about 5 years, and I've worked all over the place in there. But if I say to you a Broadway's breakfast, can you please describe the absolute tantalizing sensation that the taste buds will experience having had one yourself?
I'm all about the take 2 at Broadway's. So yeah, it's
yes,
big boy breakfast.
He knows. He knows. Oh,
that was tradition in high school.
Proud moment.
Before every football game, we would go out to Broadway's in Orleans and have a big breakfast.
Well, I am that's just taking me back. And certainly I have teammates myself who still send me pictures every time they go to Broadways. But certainly, if you're ever at the Barhaven one, I actually put up the lights that are in the parking lot outside that. So by all means, don't stand underneath them. I'm all right. They're still there last time I checked. But certainly, think of that next time you're going to have Broadway's breakfast. But certainly, it's good that you've indeed represented Kendall well, you represented Ottawa well, and indeed represented Broadway's well in this commentator's art. Jacob, we are going to wish you the best of luck, though. First time I've ever got to actually legitimately plug Broadways in a broadcast and have somebody get it. So certainly thank you for that. And indeed, we'll hopefully see you at the next round here for Bathurst.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. Have a good day.
You see, he gets it. Gentlemen, attaboy. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jacob Fickner. I got to say, Rich, an interesting broadcast indeed, but we are going to bring it to a close. Certainly V.I.R, definitely on my Princess approved track list. Absolutely love the section here. You can see at the top of your screen there. Absolutely beautiful. The roller coaster is indeed some beautiful elevation changes as well. The track being about 3.24 miles, or indeed about 5 kilometers. Actually went the right way around this time. Indeed. What an absolutely fantastic race, and certainly a huge thank you to not just the people that help organize Throttle Freaks, but to the sponsors here on Races Nexus as well. We've got Apex Sim Racing. There is even a discount code for that. By all means, I'm sure Rob's got some fancy doohickey he can show you for that. And indeed, to Track Camps for Gourmets for showing us some pretty beautiful,
Well, thanks a lot, folks, for coming in tonight. The official tally, we've lost Zippy, it looks like. 77, ladies and gentlemen. Great racing. 40 entries here. V.I.R. We'll see you next week back at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. This has been Throttle Freaks on Racer Nexus.